What if the key to unforgettable intimacy wasn't about what you're doing, but how you're thinking? Imagine this, you're with someone you care about. The mood is right, but something feels off. She's not fully engaged, maybe not even enjoying herself, and you're wondering what you missed. Dr. Ian Kerner has the answer, and it's probably not what you think. She Comes First is a revolutionary book that flips the script on how men approach sex. It's bold, unapologetic, and refreshingly honest. This isn't about gimmicks or tricks. It's about understanding the science psychology and soul of female pleasure. Kerner's premise is as simple as it is powerful. If a man wants to be truly great in bed, he needs to put his partner's pleasure first, not just in theory, but in practice. And that begins with understanding one very overlooked truth. Most women do not reliably climax through intercourse alone. Let that sink in. In fact, studies show that roughly 70 to 80% of women need clitoral stimulation to reach orgasm. Yet popular culture and even educational systems continue to focus on penetration as the pinnacle of sexual pleasure. Ian Kerner says it's time to change the game. The Oral Sex Manifesto. Kerner's mission is to remove the shame stigma and silence around oral sex, especially for men performing it on women. He argues that cunnilingus is not just a prelude to real sex, but a deeply intimate act that is real sex in itself. Why? Because it's the most direct, effective, and reliable way to bring a woman to climax. It's not just about getting her off. It's about building connection, confidence, and mutual satisfaction. Kerner doesn't shy away from saying it. Men need to embrace oral sex as a skill, a mindset, and an act of love. In fact, he even calls cunnilingus the ultimate expression of empathy. Why? Because it requires tuning in, listening, paying attention, not rushing, not performing, but actually being present. He breaks down the psychological shift required for men to stop viewing orgasm as a finish line and instead start seeing it as a shared journey. And on that journey, her climax isn't the bonus, it's the destination, the anatomy of female pleasure to give pleasure. You have to understand. Where it lives, Kerner dives deep into female anatomy, particularly the clitoris, not just the visible part, but the entire structure. He explains how the clitoris has over 8,000 nerve endings, more than any other part of the human body. And its sole function is pleasure. That's right. The clitoris exists for no other reason than to feel good. Understanding. This helps men unlearn the idea that penetration is enough and teaches them how to touch, lick, tease, and love a woman's body in a way that honors her biology. Kerner also outlines the clitoral network, including the internal clitoral legs and bulbs, which extend around the vaginal canal. This explains why some women may enjoy penetration more when they're already aroused from external stimulation. It's not just about finding the right spot, it's about activating the entire system, the thinking man's guide. She Comes First isn't just about sex, it's about thinking differently. About sex, Kerner introduces the idea the thinking man. Someone who sees sex not as performance or conquest, but as communication. This man understands that the key to great sex isn't stamina or size, it's curiosity, empathy, and consistency. He talks about how men are conditioned to seek quick gratification and perform like porn stars. But in real life, that mindset fails. Women are not light switches, they're more like volume knobs. It takes time, build-up, anticipation, and care to get things flowing. Kerner provides a blueprint for how men can shift their mindset from goal-oriented to partner-oriented. It's not, did I make her come? It's, did I make her feel safe, seen, and satisfied? The thinking man listens with his whole body. He watches how she breathes, how she moves, how she reacts, and most importantly, he doesn't rush. Because in Kerner's world, slow is sexy. The erotic equation. Kerner introduces what he calls the erotic equation: arousal plus desire plus technique plus trust. Orgasm. It's not just about stimulation. It's about the whole environment. He explains how women need to feel relaxed, emotionally open, and free from judgment to truly let go. That means foreplay isn't something you do before sex. Foreplay is sex, talking, whispering, kissing, touching, all of it builds the foundation for explosive intimacy. He also addresses the issue of male performance anxiety, especially for men dealing with erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, or confidence issues. Kerner's point is liberating oral sex becomes a way to still be a phenomenal lover, even when other things aren't going to plan. In fact, he argues that focusing on her pleasure first helps reduce male anxiety, because it shifts the attention away from performance and toward connection. You're not trying to impress. You're trying to express. The playbook, technique and rhythm. Let's get practical. Kerner dedicates a major part of the book to actual technique. But don't expect cheesy, step-by-step guides or bizarre metaphors. Instead, he teaches men how to use rhythm pressure and presence to make every touch count. The golden rule: consistency. Don't switch things up every few seconds. Don't try to surprise her with ninja moves. Stick with emotion and tempo that works and build. From there, Kerner compares it to music. You find the beat and ride the rhythm, slowly, gradually, intuitively. He also stresses that every woman is different, so ask, pay attention, adapt. And perhaps the most underrated tool: communication. Asking her what feels good doesn't ruin the mood, it deepens it. He talks about the importance of nonverbal cues: eye contact, hand on thigh, breathing together. All of these turn sex from a mechanical act into an emotional ritual. Kerner reminds men that good lovers are learners, and the more you learn about her, the better you'll love her. Redefining masculinity. One of the most powerful undercurrents of the book is its challenge to outdated ideas of masculinity. She Comes First isn't just a sex manual, it's a manifesto for a new kind of man. A man who is strong enough to be gentle, confident enough to ask questions, secure enough to put her first. Kerner dismantles the myth that dominance equals desirability. He says real power is in patience. Real strength is in softness. He calls on men to become emotionally present, not just physically ready. And he points out something vital. When women feel deeply desired and cared for, they respond with a kind of intimacy that elevates the entire experience. Pleasure is not a transaction, it's a shared transformation beyond the bedroom. What's truly brilliant about She Comes First is how its philosophy applies to all relationships, not just sexual ones. Kerner is teaching men how to pay attention, how to prioritize their partner's needs, how to tune in. Instead of turning on autopilot, these are relationship superpowers. A man who listens in the bedroom is more likely to listen at the dinner table. A man who asks how it feels is more likely to ask how her day went. A man who can handle her body with care can handle her heart with care too. That's the ripple effect of prioritizing her pleasure. It makes you a better lover, a better partner, a better man. Conclusion: why this book matters in a world full of sex advice based on flashy promises and shallow performance. She Comes First stands out because it dares to go deeper. It's not about tricks, it's about trust. Not about being sexy, but about being selfless. Dr. Ian Kerner offers men a roadmap to not just better sex, but better relationships. By centering women's needs and challenging outdated norms, this book changes the way we talk about intimacy. It shows that the most powerful act a man can do in bed is to put his ego aside, and his partner first, because when she comes first, everything else falls into place. This is the book every man needs to read, and every woman will be grateful he did. So if you're ready to level up in love and connection, in confidence, and in intimacy, start with this. Start with She Comes First. If you want to listen full audiobook for free, link in description. Thank you.